So today we're going to install the QA1 coilover shocks. The first thing they tell you to do is pretty much lubricate everything with Permatex, including the anti-seize, including these threads here on the shock. There's the lock nut. The instructions really aren't very good, to be honest. So we think we figured it out. I've got a helper today. So we're going to do what we think is right. I'd put the rings on first and then lube up the rest.
Well, get it started down and.
Yeah, I don't think that lock nut needed lubed.
Yeah.
Because it's not even metal. It's not metal though. But leave it on. I mean, I'm just saying I don't think it was necessary. So he's lubing up the threads with Permatex anti-seize as recommended in the instructions. To me, I wish they'd do a better job of that because I think it's going to take away from the appearance of the shocks, although I guess I'm not really that much about appearance, but we're going to get that lubed up, get the coil spring installed on it. Okay, the lock nut goes on, shoulder up. Dropping stuff out of the parts bag here. And then the adjusting nut goes shoulder up, and then the metal plate with the shock actually rides on, goes on just before the shock. Do some test fitting here. Okay, for a minute I thought that these bolts they provide you with for the shocks were not going to fit in the control arm, but they do. I thought that since the control arm holes are threaded, I thought that the bolts were just going to be installed going down. Don't go past the end of that, Frank.
Yeah.
Just down to the last thread. But it looks like you can install these by putting the bolts in. They gave you two nuts. Looks like you can put the bolts in and just put the bolts through the holes in the shock, and then
You have any paper towels?
I do. Just a second here.
Yep.
It looks like you can put the bolts through the shocks and then put the shock on it, put the nuts on top of it.
There you go.
So you're going to want to run that nut down all the way to the locking nut.
Yep.
In the meantime, I'm getting ahead of the game here. I'm installing the bolts for the shock mount into the control arm. And the reason I came to the conclusion that these are going to go in from the bottom and have the nut on the top is because I tried to thread them in from the top like you would if you were just going to use the bolt threaded into the control arm to mount the shock, and I was having trouble getting it to thread, and I was wondering if they were different size threads. But when I did it from this other side, from the bottom, at least I think that's the bottom. Hope that's the bottom. Yes, that's the bottom. The way I know that's the bottom is the mount for the stabilizer bar has to be in the front. And then the large hole for this cross shaft is in the back. So that is the bottom. But none of this came with any kind of good instructions. So some things we got to wing it. Another clue as to the orientation of this thing is this bump stop here is for the steering. I forget which part actually bumps against it, but that's where you stop, or you get stopped when you're trying to turn the wheel. So now I have two studs installed here that the shock mount is going to go down on, and then there's two nuts with locking nylon inserts to tighten it up to. You know what? Oh God, I don't know if I turned the camera on. Yeah, I did. I didn't remember turning it on. We would have had to take everything apart. No, we wouldn't if we'd have shown the other side. Okay, coil spring next.
Well, you want to put that on there and then put the coil spring on?
No, you can't, because once you get it up there, the coil spring's sitting in this pocket. It's got to go. Got to go first.
Okay.
Got to go first. So there's the coil spring. It goes up into the pocket up here. We need a couple of a washer and a bushing on the bottom of it, and a washer and a bushing will go on the top, along with a nut. As I was doing my shopping for this stuff, it'd be nice if they told you which way it went, huh? I think that goes
the other way.
a little loose, but I'm guessing it has to go that way because the other side doesn't fit in. Okay. See if I can thread this up in here and it's up in the hole. Some of the coilover shocks that were available,
You want me to do that?
you had to actually drill out the frame, and I didn't see that as a good solution. Get one of those nuts out of there. Okay, that's threaded enough, it'll hang there. I guess we can tighten that up after. I think I want that there, Frank. I'm going to rest the control arm on it.
Oh, okay.
So I got to clean my hands off because I didn't think to put any gloves on before I handled that.
Neither did I.
Okay, we're going to try to put the control arm on it. And we think, and this is all trial and error because the manufacturers are different. I didn't buy a kit because I wanted upper control arms that were adjustable and didn't need shims for alignment. So I have three different manufacturers. I have the QA1 coilovers. Global West made the control arms, and I think it's a company called SPC doing that makes the adjustable coilovers. I think what we want to do is jack that puppy up a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Do you have this?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Now that thing's hard to pump, Frank, especially when you getting started. Why, I don't know. Well, hold on here, Frank. We may have to pump this up because this shaft is not rotated in a friendly angle here. Actually,
You want to put that on and then we can jack it up? Or down, push it down, whatever, which way we need to go?
yeah, I think maybe that's the way to go. So yeah, that's what it looks like we're gonna do. We're gonna bolt up the, should we put some anti-seize on these bolts too?
I would.
Hold that for a second.
I got it.
We can use anti-seize, or I have some other petroleum-based thing that,
I would use anti-seize. I just would.
okay. Let's look to be, let me get the right size wrench we need here before we go any further. (13/16) on the top nut, and 7/8 on the bottom. So
here's your emphases.
yep. Anybody that's watched this channel knows by now, and Frank doesn't know, that I show the good, the bad, and the ugly. So sometimes this is a locking nut. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to thread it on all the way. I'm just going to have to get my fingers dirty with anti-seize, and
I can do that. Mine are already dirty.
now mine are too. Just run it all the way around. Okay, well, put that in that hole right there at the top.
Down? No, it goes.
Down, yes, down. Okay.
Okay.
Might be a little,
It doesn't fit.
it doesn't fit because paint got in it and narrowed the hole. I got the control arm. So we're going to have to clean that out a bit. So to clean that hole out, we took the old bolt and rammed it through there.
Okay, there it is.
And then,
Where's the nut?
we should have put that on first. The nut doesn't go on till we get this up.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to take...
This is going to have to come
That's
off.
going to have to come off so that we can get the control arm on and then rotate it. Can you handle that and put it there since you're taking it off? Just put it over there on that. Okay, so
Okay, where's the nut?
the nut,
You sit here?
yeah, but there's a washer too. There's the washer.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm gonna put this up.
I'll lift it.
Dang, they sent this in an orientation where you can't even get it through because of the bumper. What the heck?
Do you have a pipe wrench or something?
You know what, I got a vise. I'm gonna go put that bar in the vise and open it up. So it's a pretty easy job to do once I put the control arm in a vise. Or not the control arm, but the shaft.
Okay.
Okay, that'll hold that.
Now what's on the other side?
The other side has this.
Okay.
So,
I guess I'll have to come through.
hold on a second. Let me figure out where the bolts are for that. Don't know what I did with them because I took them out. Guess I took them out as unnecessary since I got new ones. I moved them from where I put them so that I would know. Okay, I got one through. Two through. Okay. Drop it down on there and pump up the jack. It'd be easier. We're not all the way up.
Yeah, I know, but there's a bolt here.
I'll put the Permatex or the anti-seize on that while you're pumping.
Okay.
Okay, that one's threaded. Gotta get the other bolt. I still have a lock nut. Yeah, I do have a lock nut on there still. Wasn't sure whether I lost it when it dropped.
You mean lock washer?
Yeah, lock washer. Don't have the right socket. 5/8. Pump that up a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Did I tell you that Sean is involved with SAE Formula Racing
No.
at Penn State? It's a club that he joined. Every year they have to build a Formula One car. They tell them what engine to put in, and then they can modify it a little bit, but it's then they get into competition throughout the United States.
Nice.
So this year he's not going to be too involved as a freshman, but this is the last year for gasoline engines. Next year they're going to
All electric.
All electric. But what's very interesting is they got to design suspension, they got to design drivetrain, they got to design everything on the car. Even the car frame itself.
Okay. These are in.
Okay, I need
I guess
either a 7/8 or a 13/16 wrench.
How about a ratchet? Which would you prefer?
It doesn't matter.
You gonna have clearance for the ratchet on top?
The ratchet could go on top, yeah,
That-
or
which
underneath,
side? That's the 13/16,
Or underneath.
right?
because it's all open.
Well, you're getting the 13/16 because that's the first one I picked up.
Thanks.
Sometimes that's all you gotta do.
Makes the decisions easier.
Bring you. You know? Again, We want to make these tight. They need to be torqued, so you don't need to overly tighten them. We'll torque them later. Okay. Fronts are good enough.
Come on.
Do you want me to hold that wrench? I can do it from here. I want to point out that this shaft on these control arms is about twice the size of the one on the stock arms. So,
Okay, this has got to be let down?
yeah, you got to hold that red thing to the side. Watch your hand because it's in a crappy place. Yeah, hold it up and just open that knob. All right.
Okay.
Now, we are again ready for move so easy when it's attached to a car. Ready for the shock again. Sometimes you do things twice or 3 or 4 times.
There it is. Bushing,
Bushing small. Down.
small.
Yep. And tighten it. Or at least get it on. Yep. Washer.
There it is. Push up a little bit. Okay, it's on.
Okay, that's all we're looking for now is to have it attached. Now,
That's got to be turned a little bit. The shaft itself.
oh, I see what you're talking about. We gotta rotate the shaft.
Rotate, yeah.
Yeah, let's see what
Before you put it on, where is this adjusting? Where do you want the adjusting? On the inside?
no, I'd rather have it on the outside.
Okay.
Can we spin that?
Yep.
Good catch, Frank. Be easier to get to on the outside. Now, which way did this have to go? Up or?
Let's see now, because we rotated it.
Oh, that's true. Hope we got lucky because it just needs a bit of a rotation. That went too far. This is weird. It seems to go in one direction and not the other. That son of a gun should. Look at that.
Need to go your way.
This wrench, I see how it's doing it. Okay, try the jack under it to hold it up. Maybe we don't even need it. I don't think we need it. It's staying up there by itself.
Well, I got my hand there.
Locking nuts on, it's not going anywhere. Okay. And that's not going to work. Deep socket is not the ticket there.
Probably
Then,
open end wrench.
well, let me try. I think, can you go this way maybe? No, probably need a, you're right, probably need a open end wrench. This is one of those Craftsman ones that rotates, and I think you have a better angle from under the car there. 'Cause that isn't as high right there. And yeah, it's not going to work. I think you need one of the regular open-end wrenches, and you're going to have to do the flip thing. That's one of them that'll ratchet if you can get the right turn on it.
Box doesn't work either.
How about an offset box? Will that work from the inside? Got that too. This side. From in here, get bigger. It's not as much of an angle from in there. You got it stuck on there. Could help hard to find. But when it's free. Oop.
Just takes time, that's all.
Yep. So, there we have it. One shock installed, and I bet you I have every wrench but the one I need. One coilover installed. I think it might have been a little easier than reinstalling the stock springs. So,
Okay, now is these gonna have to be torqued as well?
you know what, I don't think so.
Okay. So what you're saying is tighten it up all the way.
Yeah, tighten it good. They have those lock nuts, so I don't think they're worried about torque. Stops on it. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, you got this adjustment.
So, yeah. So when you get these in, they're not ready to go. They need adjusted. That looks good. It's just starting to mushroom or balloon out the bushing up top. And we'll take the second nut on top. It probably didn't see me doing that. So you can get that as far as you can get it with the by hand, and I'm not sure, to be honest, about the final adjustment, but
Well, that would give you your road height.
yeah, it would. But what I'm saying is I don't know how to adjust them for that final adjustment. I don't know if they're gonna have instructions here in the shock, because I don't think we read them all.
Okay, there you are.
Did we read all the instructions?
I didn't.
Okay. See if that tells us anything on how to adjust it. Now, they don't give you a wrench to adjust that. There's a spanner wrench. There's a spanner wrench that you use to adjust those. Now, I didn't buy one because I'm getting coilovers for the back and new trailing arms, And that kit supposedly comes with one of the wrenches, so I'm not going to do that till I get that kit. Seems like everything I've ordered is taking a long time.
Well, the next one was going to go a little easier.
Other than torquing those bolts, and can you read that instruction, Frank, and see if these need torqued? I don't think they do, but I'm looking at the instructions for the control arm and these two front bolts.
I see nothing regarding
The shock. I didn't think there was. The two front bolts on the rod for the control arm are to be torqued to 65 foot-pounds, and the back big bolt, the 9/16 bolt, and that's the bolt size, not the head size, because I usually say the size of wrench I'm using. That one gets 90 foot-pounds. So
you want to do them now, or we're going to do them both after we get the other one in?
I think we'll do them after,
Okay.
because that's not exciting. I don't intend to video it. But,
Maybe somebody like me doesn't understand how to torque.
okay, well,
I'm just, if you're involved in this, you better know what the hell you're doing.
ooh, know what you're doing? Okay, this is as far as we can go, unfortunately, with the front suspension, at least. Because my upper control arms didn't come in. And like I said, I ordered them separate because I wanted them to be adjustable so that I don't have to deal with shims for the alignment. So this is as good as it gets for now. We're going to do the other one off camera, and then we'll come back, and I think by that time we can put the sway bar on. So yesterday, after we put this all together and we were going to torque the bolts, the front bolts, where there's two 7/16 inch bolts, and I can actually focus in on them here, that hold that right there, hold that shaft onto the frame, call for 65 foot-pounds of torque, and as I got to about 50 or 55, that's what happened to the lock washer that was under it. Just bent, it spread it out. It's no longer effective as a lock washer. So we've got some, and I tried it again with another one, did the same thing, and actually there's still one on there that did the same thing, so we tried it with 3 different ones. So right now we are ready to torque the back bolt, so I'm just going to see if, there's probably not a camera angle that's good, but we have a 3/4 inch torque wrench on that, which gives us a lot of leverage to do 90 foot-pounds. And we just put these on yesterday with a 3/8 inch ratchet, I believe.
Yeah.
So they weren't very tight at all. We've already done the one on the passenger side. This is the driver's side. And the key to torquing with a click type torque wrench is steady, even pressure. You don't want to jerk it, because you can either over torque it or get a bad reading. So you want to do it slow and steady till it clicks. camera's moving. Okay, I got it. There you go, there's the click. We're at 90 foot-pounds. So for the front, got a couple ideas to get that locked in. I don't know what's going to work. Basically, what I want to try to do is somehow give me a locking capability on those nuts. And because the sway bar's in the way, I can't get a good picture of it. Okay, I am going to hold that. Where did you put the nuts that we bought, Frank?
In my pocket.
The first thing I want to try, I did buy longer bolts because this is where that bolt sticks through after going through the, can't even get the camera in there to show you, after going through the bar. So
We should be okay as far as thread length is.
yeah, so let me see a nut, because what we're going to try to do, a nut.
Right there.
What we're going to try to do is we got slightly longer bolts, and we're going to try to put them through, and then, yeah, there is clearance for that nut to turn. We're going to lock them down with a nut on top of them. So that's what we're going to do after we torque it to 65 foot-pounds. And we got some flat washers, and I do have some block washers. I'm going to try those first. And if they work, we'll be done. And if not, we'll just go with the nut on top. I'll probably put that on top anyways.
I need your ratchet, or you can take those out, or I can take them out.
Okay. You know what? Today I'm going to get out the air ratchet. So we went to the hardware store this morning, and we took an old bolt that came off the original car to size it and buy one that was a little bit longer so that we would have some room to grab the top threads with a nut and secure that from the top. What we didn't remember is the new arm in there is longer, and the bolt we had was already longer than the new, quote, longer bolt that we bought. So we should have bought a bolt 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch longer than that one. So right now, we tried it again with a flat washer, then a lock washer, and the lock washer still spread before it hit 65 foot-pounds. So we're putting a flat washer and torquing it to 65 foot-pounds, and it should be okay. But I'll have to, after I get it on the road, remember to check that after I've driven it a bit. Make sure that I don't need to get a longer bolt and tighten a nut down on it from the top to hold it in place.